Hi, welcome to Psychic Tapestry. I'm Ken Kessler, and Tony DeMeo is not here tonight. She's okay. You don't need to worry. She, as most of you know, she lives near Houston, Texas, and they got walloped by some big storms over the weekend. And and she said that the estimate was that power would be back on tomorrow, maybe Thursday. So
Dang.
yeah, but she's fine. And she sends lots of love and she's grateful for all your good thoughts. And she'll be back on our next episode 2 weeks from tonight. But we've got a nice treat for you tonight. It is, by the way, Tuesday, May 21st. If you're here with us live, we are recording this on Zoom, and then it will be up on all the streaming services as an audio podcast in another day or two. And I always say another day or two because it doesn't happen instantly and they're not all the same. So it may show up faster on some than others. That's beyond our control. So there's more information that you didn't really need. You can connect to us through social media, facebook.com/psychic tapestry, at psychic tapestry on Twitter, or I think it's officially X now. I'm very excited to have my favorite guest in the whole world on tonight.
Aw.
My wife, Lisa Kessler. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Lisa is not here just because she's my wife. She is a best-selling paranormal romance author. She is a very gifted tarot reader. She's a manifesting coach. What else am I missing?
I don't know. I think that's it.
That's it. Okay. She also has a couple albums out because she's got a beautiful singing voice, but that's
Aw, thanks.
you're welcome. I'm just trying to see how embarrassed I can get you. Um, why I asked you to come on, and Tony thought this was a great idea too, because we wanted to talk about manifesting. And you are building a community to help people manifest their best life. And I don't want to just throw that out there because this didn't just happen that you decided, hey, I'm going to do this. There were things that happened along the way. So where does your metaphysical manifesting journey start?
Wow. Well, if we went all the way back to the start, probably 20 years ago when The Secret came out and I found out, the law of attraction was given a name, and I was like, oh, that's what I've been doing. So probably from then, but metaphysical manifesting is what I call my coaching style business. And it's all about using metaphysical tools to help you on your manifesting journey. So The Secret gave you the law of attraction and the definition of the law of attraction, but they didn't give you a lot of tools. And manifesting is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It takes a long time. And there are ups and downs and obstacles and changes and miracles that you never knew were going to happen, but it changes the whole path again. And when you use metaphysical tools like tarot cards and pendulums and work with your spirit guides and archangels, you can really keep your vibration up. And when we talk about manifesting and the law of attraction, it's always like attracts like. So if you can keep your vibration up in gratitude, in eagerness, in anticipation of the next amazing great thing that's going to happen, you are attracting more amazing great things to happen for you. And I think, at least from what I've witnessed from my clients, it happens so much faster if you have somebody who's helping you keep your vibration up, keep shining a light on your path, helping you to overcome those obstacles that always show up. And I don't even know all the time if they're really in your way. Sometimes it's like divine course correction to poke you down a different path that you never even would have known existed. So anyway, that's what I do with metaphysical manifesting. That's kind of how it got started. I've been a tarot reader for, I don't know, I don't want to think about how long, but probably probably pushing toward 15, 20 years for other people anyway. I've been collecting tarot cards since I got out of high school. And um, so it kind of grew from that. Actually, it was Ken who made that happen. But anyway, he was in 2022. I was still reading tarot. I always do year ahead readings. You've heard me talk about them before on Psychic Tapestry, but basically, I lay out we map out your entire year. And Ken had asked me if you could expand your tarot business, what would it be? And it just came out instantly. It was, I wish I could coach my clients all year long so that they make the year everything it was meant to be. Because I have people who come back every year for year ahead readings and they'll go, well, I wish I had really stuck with it. Or, oh my gosh, the reading was exactly what happened. And, all that kind of thing. And I wanted to help them stay on track. And Ken said, so why don't you do that? And I was like, well, I'm busy writing books. And then I told some writing friends about the conversation with Ken, and they said, well, why aren't you doing it? And I was like, well, because I'm so busy. So then I put up a little metaphysical page on my author page just to kind of test the waters. And instantly I had 5 clients sign up who wanted that coaching. So I was like, okay, so people are interested and I can help. And metaphysical manifesting was born from that.
And that's actually your website, right?
Yep. Metaphysicalmanifesting.com.
I'll put a link to that down in the show notes. So if you're listening, if you're not listening, then it doesn't matter. If you don't have to write this down. I'll share some links down in the show notes for Lisa's stuff. So you have metaphysical manifesting clients, which is different than the community that you have just built. So let's talk first about what you're doing with metaphysical manifesting as far as these clients go. I know you have you offer one-on-one coaching and you also do a group thing. So can you sort of give us the highlights of both of those?
Yeah. So the one-on-one mentoring is we meet once a month and it is based off of your map for the year. So if you didn't get a year ahead reading, we do one in your first meeting. And they also get 2 channeled readings every month for whoever comes through for them. It's usually archangels and their spirit guides, but you never know. But you get 2 of those. I do automatic writing. So they're channeled readings in writing and you get pictures of them and we talk about them. And we also pull tarot cards during the meeting and make a plan of baby steps to get you toward that big goal. I love taking people's huge dream and breaking it down into bite-sized nuggets. And so then after the meeting, they get an email with all the homework and their focus for the month and all the pictures of their readings. And then they'll get another email from me at the end of the month with the check-in, reminding them what the homework was and scheduling for the next meeting. So we basically do a 1-hour one-on-one once a month. But the mastermind is weekly. So it's a lot more intense. And in my experience so far, people manifest things much faster because we are sending energy every single week as a group. So if you imagine you raise your vibration for this certain goal, for the law of attraction, what if 5 other people are also sending energy, seeing you get that goal, visualizing it? It's huge energy wave to the universe. And you think about it, people do group manifesting all the time. That's how Girl Scouts sell all those cookies and all of them get to go to the overnight because every single girl sees the other girls selling enough to go. It's that kind of thing. So we meet once a week. We do different rituals to help support us and get us pumped, stay our vibration highly spinning for what we want. And then we do the big, at the end is the big visualizing and sending energy to each member of the mastermind. So you have to show up every week for 12 weeks. You're showing up for yourself and everyone else in the circle. So anyway, lots of great friendships have developed, and we've manifested houses, new starts, better health, like walking from out of a wheelchair. We just had our first mastermind baby to somebody who is having fertility issues. So anyway, it has been magical. So the mastermind also happens.
I want to break the mastermind down a little bit because I feel like because you know it so well that somebody who's listening who's not familiar with it might not have quite caught on. So you're calling you call your group the mastermind, and you
Mhm.
have 8, 9, 10 people, something like that.
No, we keep it small because we check in every week on everyone and we send energy to each person. So I can't let it get any bigger than 6 at a
Okay.
time. So right now I do have a spot in the mastermind, but sometimes it's full.
Okay. So you have 6, and the way this works, and I don't really need to say this, but correct me if I'm wrong. The way this works is that each member talks about, announces, conveys in some way to everybody what it is they're trying to manifest. And
Mhm.
then the entire group channels energy into whatever it is that they want. And you do this for each person. And
Mhm.
I can't emphasize enough how amazing it is when you have a group of people who are putting their energy toward you achieving whatever it is you want to achieve. And and that's as an outsider, I'm not allowed to go to these meetings. So
It's for the goddesses out there.
I was just gonna I was gonna come up with something else, but that's fine. But it really is amazing. I have been fortunate enough to have done when we still lived in San Diego, we had little groups in the rock shop where we did readings and stuff, and
Psychic
we would have
circles.
yes, we would have some circles, and we would do this once in a while, and there is power in that. I mean, there's power in just you focusing your energy on what it is you want to achieve. Or, I hate to say what it is you want to get because I don't want it to sound like I want the winning numbers for the lottery there. Now I should have them. Not really. It doesn't work like that. But if there's something in your life that is for your highest good that you're trying to get to, your power is really significant. And then you multiply that by 5, 6 other people, and it is amazing. And you don't have to take my word for it. Lisa, you mentioned that one of the things that your mastermind was able to manifest was health for somebody who was in a wheelchair.
Hmm.
I know that you did a Zoom interview with them and you put that on your YouTube channel. I'll put a link to her YouTube channel in the show notes too. Can you sort of explain how that all worked and what happened?
Yeah, sure. So another thing that I forgot to mention about the mastermind is that anyone who's in the mastermind, there's an online classroom where I have, I think, 10 different video units of different metaphysical tools. And so while people are in the 12-week mastermind, they can go through and learn all of these different tools to figure out what works for you. Is it candles, crystals, pendulums, angels, uh, tarot cards? And so anyway, there's lots of lessons in there. And so when Netta joined the mastermind, she started going through the online classroom and she learned to meditate and she learned to visualize and all of these different tools. And she met her spirit guides. And so when Netta joined us for the mastermind, she was pretty much a shut in living at home. She had suffered traumatic brain injury, and they told her that she wouldn't walk again. So she was in a wheelchair. And she came to the mastermind wanting to manifest a handicap van. And she asked me if that was too big. And I said, no, in fact, I would make it bigger. Because the thing is, sometimes we pigeonhole the universe and we think this is all we deserve. And the universe might have a bigger plan, but we have free will. So we have to open the door. So I told her maybe there's something better than a handicap van. So I would make it bigger. So then she expanded her dream to be personal freedom, because really that was why she wanted the handicap van. She was dependent on everyone else taking her to the grocery store and doctor appointments and all that stuff. And she lived alone. So we started the mastermind. And during this time, she actually stayed in the mastermind for like a whole year. But during this time, we saw so many miraculous things that she never would have known to ask for, because she went to the neurologist to get, actually, one of the other people in the mastermind also had traumatic brain injury. What? And so they hooked up in Messenger, and she got her all the documents that you need to have your neurologist fill out to get a handicap van. So during mastermind, we're all sending all this positive energy for Netta to have personal freedom, to be able to go wherever she wants, whenever she wants, and all this. And we did not connect it with the van. And she went to the neurologist to get those things filled out, and he wanted to do some more tests and sent her to a different neurologist, because they thought that there was some kind of treatment that they have now that they thought might give her better balance so that she doesn't fall over. And so she went to the new neurologist, who sent her to physical therapy, who also used this new treatment. And the new neurologist told her, you've been doing so good in physical therapy that I think that if we did bariatric surgery, you could lose enough weight that you could walk. And Netta came to Mastermind and she's like, I don't believe it. What? But she had done all those metaphysical lessons. And so she was meditating, and her spirit guides were telling her, why not try? Why not? So all in 1 year, in January, she thought she needed a handicap van. By July, she had bariatric surgery. By October, Netta walked without a wheelchair. We all cried. All of us were like, what? But she got up and walked in October, no wheelchair. And now she walks 2 miles every day. And they're talking about things that they can do so that she doesn't even need a handicap van. She can just get a car that has some helpful things for her side vision or something. But anyway, her whole entire life has changed all in 1 year. It was the most miraculous thing I've ever seen. And I swear it was because she surrendered to the universe to give her for her highest good. And she and I, in that interview that you mentioned that's on YouTube, she and I were talking about that. And she said that she was just willing to go wherever the universe was sending her. And she never would have thought to ask to walk again, because the doctors had told her that was impossible. And so she said, I had just settled my whole life that I'm just going to be a shut-in in a wheelchair, and that's my life now. So anyway, your mindset is everything. And having a whole group of people around you seeing you achieve this thing is powerful.
Yeah, it is. It is amazing. I know you have a couple other interviews with some other clients. I don't know if Netta's story is the most amazing or if there's somebody else. I know you have someone who manifested changing her life, where
Mhm.
she was in an unhappy marriage and she was able to get out of it quickly, easily, found a place to live, got moved, started her whole life over. And as somebody who faced being in a difficult marriage and wanting to start over, that's no easy task. And having a group to support you and help you achieve that, that's it's just amazing.
Yeah, she got the fastest, easiest, non-contentious divorce I've ever seen. In 12 weeks, it was all done, and she had moved out and had her own place. And we were all shocked. And since then, Marie has gone on to manifest her own house, her first house ever on her own, that she
Wow.
just bought. And she moved to a new state where she wanted to live closer to her grandkids. And when she and I started, and I did her year ahead reading, one of her goals was that she wanted to live closer to her grandkids, but she thought that that was like an impossible dream because at that point she was stuck in a different state in an unhappy marriage and felt like she was just stuck. So the change has been just night and day. And again, I've never seen anything go that smoothly. And then once she found this house, the escrow went boom, 30 days done, she's in, it's amazing. So anyway, yeah, Marie's story was pretty miraculous too.
Now, you had mentioned that you have this online classroom where you have
Mm-hmm.
these different classes that and that's available to everybody in the mastermind.
Right.
All
In
right.
the mastermind, they have access to the online classroom where there's videos for all the different metaphysical tools. And it's basically so that you can learn how to use them and figure out which ones resonate with you because they don't all resonate with everyone. You don't have to be good at everything. Um,
Right.
that's the great thing about spirituality. What works for you is great. What doesn't just isn't for you. And it's not a big deal to the point where one of the units is about crystals. And anyone who knows me knows that I am not a crystal goddess. I don't know why. I think that they're beautiful and I do have them on my desk, but 90% of the time it never sticks with me what this stone is called, what it's supposed to do. I just have it because I think it's pretty. So when we got to the crystal unit, I had one of my psychic buddies from San Diego who has opened a rock shop and is really into crystals. He came on. And so I peppered him with questions for that class. So it's not just all me telling you things. So the mastermind has access to those classes. It's part of the mastermind workshop.
Okay. Now let's get into the community that you have created. It is the metaphysical manifesting community.
Mm-hmm.
How is, well, let's start first. What exactly is it?
So it's actually on Mighty Networks. It is not affiliated with Facebook or any of the social medias. And my thought process behind all of that was that being on social media can be toxic and it can lower your vibration and just make you miserable because you're seeing everyone's Instagram filters where their life is perfect and or you're reading about everyone whose dog has died and you just cry all day. That happens to me all the time, all these pet bombs. Um, and so basically, I wanted there to be a spot where you could go and not have to deal with all of that. Just keep your vibration. You go there for a purpose, which is to manifest your best life. And I'm in a mighty network for my writing. And I thought, gosh, if we had a community for manifesting, then the people who maybe need to manifest abundance, like maybe it's not in your budget right now to do one-on-one coaching or the mastermind, but you want to manifest some abundance and you need some support. That was what was behind making the community. So for $1 a day, you can be in there and we do tarot Tuesdays. We do different metaphysical talks on Thursdays. These are all live on Zoom. There's moonlight meditations, which is guided meditations during full moon week. We have one actually on Friday. And you also get access to the Practical Tarot video course to read tarot intuitively. And that's usually like $300. You get it for $1 a day if you're in the community. And we have great discussions, amazing people. We have different spaces in the community for if you need extra support, please help. I'm struggling with whatever. And we'll all send you energy, good vibes, and maybe people will have suggestions. Like when Netta was trying to get the van, and someone else in the group said, "Hey, I know what you need to get from your neurologist." So, everyone can help everyone out. And we also have a good vibes corner where if something amazing happens to you, please share and we'll all cheer for you. And it inspires everyone when we see good things happening. So it's a way to control the energy, to have a community, but it's not a giant social media, pool where you're overwhelmed with everyone else's content. It's all geared toward manifesting your best life. It's a spiritual community online.
You mentioned Tarot Tuesday, which is actually today, and we're probably not going to be able to get to any readings because Lisa needs to leave early so she can go over there for Tarot Tuesday. Tarot Tuesday just flows out of your mouth, but what is it?
Tarot Tuesday, every week I do a free tarot reading. I put it on YouTube and TikTok every week. And every week we pick one card out of the Tarot Tuesday spread to do a deep dive. Out of the weekly spread to do a deep dive for Tarot Tuesday. So like tonight, we're going to be talking about the Knight of Cups. And basically, we just do a deep dive into the meaning of the card, all the meanings of the card. I show different, decks, how they put together, their vision of the Knight of Cups and what that probably means in this week's reading and how you can integrate that into your life. So it's a way to, and we're doing them live on Zoom now, so people can ask questions and, get more insight.
You have something going on in there every day, just about every day. How often?
Just about. We post things. It's Gratitude Friday. There's not always live events, but there's always posts and things happening in there. We're going to have our first master class in there. And again, that's included in the $1 a day. You don't pay extra for the master class, but we're going to be doing that on June 1st about working with angelic energy, working with angels. It's going to be an angel master class. It'd be super fun. And so I'm hoping so far the feedback I've gotten is that it's a very safe place and also very inspiring. People have been excited so far.
Well, on your website about this community, you say you'll find weekly Zooms, meditations, full moon and new moon tarot readings, support circles, manifesting challenges, and master classes. How is this different than the mastermind?
The mastermind, you get a lot of one-on-one attention from me, and it's weekly. We do it every week. It's an hour and a half. We do a ritual every week, a different ritual, and then we do the guided meditation visualization for each person in the circle. So mastermind is, and you get the online classroom, and none of that is included in the community. So the mastermind, you can see the section for the mastermind, but you have to actually be a client to get into that section. But anyway, that's the difference.
Meditations, you mentioned that in the community. How does that work? Is that over Zoom? I'm guessing it's over Zoom.
Yes. All of the classes and meditations and Tarot Tuesday and Thursday chats are all on Zoom.
Okay, now because I know you pretty well, I know how you feel about meditations. How do the meditations work?
So the meditations are never long because I struggle with long meditations. And so anyway, they're about 10 minutes. It's a guided meditation. So I'll be talking during the meditation, walking you through it. And I think people enjoy my meditations. I never heard anyone complain, but they are very focused, and they're usually 10 minutes.
And I know I've seen you doing some of these things on Facebook, and if I understood you correctly, a lot of what you did on Facebook, the Facebook Lives and that stuff is moving or has already moved to this community.
Yes.
One of the things that I know that you did on Facebook from time to time were these 4-day challenges.
Yes.
Can you, I'm assuming that that has also moved into the community.
Well, no, not exactly. The
Oh,
4-day challenges are on Zoom. They're not part of the community because anyone can join the free 4-day challenge. So if Ken puts a link in the show notes, just click that link to join the 4-day challenge, and you'll get an email with the link to download the free workbook. And then you'll get the link for the 4-day of Zooms. And each Zoom, each night, I don't have my schedule in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that they're at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern. But you'll get that link, and the Zooms are about a half hour, give or take, depending on how many questions people have. But basically, I go over all of the material that's in the workbook for each day, and people can ask questions about what they did the day before, all that kind of stuff. And the goal is that by the end of the 4-day challenge, you are going to know. First, you're going to determine, what your real dream is, because a lot of times people think, I want to lose 20 pounds. Well, that's not really a big, powerful, passionate dream, but you can make it into one. So that's what we work on during the 4-day challenge. And people have done amazing things, but most of my coaching clients come from those challenges, because once you know what you want, you've got to have it. You can't live without it. And so anyway, I love watching people get their best life.
and figuring out what it is you want is it sounds obvious and simple, and yet so many people struggle with that. I know we would hear from people all the time where they would say something like, I want to be happy.
And
Great.
you can manifest happiness. You
But
can.
you have to know what it looks like. What does happy
Mm-hmm.
mean for you?
For
Uh,
you.
the
Yeah.
biggest thing that we would hear is that that someone wants to manifest love, a loving
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's terrific too, but it's not the same for everybody. So you have to figure out, what does that look like for you? And then you have an idea, and then you can try and manifest that because you know what you're looking for. And I feel like what you're doing with a group takes that really to the next level, because you've got a whole bunch of people who are trying to help you get what you want once you figure out what you want. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. That's what we do in the mastermind. In the mastermind, pretty much people know what they want, and we go after it. But in these challenges, if you are, if you're maybe not sure what you want, or maybe at the beginning of the year you said, I'm going to do these things, and they haven't come through, and you're struggling with, am I still supposed to do this or whatever, come to the 4-day challenge, because you'll get lots of clarity and lots of tools to move you forward. Whether you work with me or not, you'll have lots of tools, and you'll have a path.
Not to put you on the spot, but do you happen to know when the next 4-day challenge is coming up?
Yes, it is coming up next week,
Oh,
May 28th through the 31st. So right after Memorial Day, we start.
okay. Okay. Once you send me a link, I'll put a link to that down in the show notes. Okay. So you've got the 4-day challenge, which is free.
Mm-hmm.
You have the one-on-one and the mastermind, which are not, and you have the new community, which is not, but it's about $1 a day.
Right.
And with the community, you get it, you can sort of like try it on, see how it fits, right?
Yes, the community, you can try it out for a week for free. And if you're not excited or it doesn't seem like a good fit for you, which is totally fine because everything doesn't resonate with everybody the same. So that's fine. If you're not feeling inspired and encouraged and ready to, change your world, then you don't have to stay. It's all right. And you won't be charged. You have a week to figure that out.
I think manifesting became a buzzword after the explosion of The Secret
Right.
20 years ago. And there's a lot of bad information about it. Vision boards became a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And people seem to get the idea that if they put a picture of the nice house or the nice car or whatever it is they want on their bulletin board, that's all they need to do. And they're done. That car should be in my driveway by the end of the week. And it's not that simple. You have to do the work. And I I'm not trying to scare anybody away from any of these things, but it's not that you sign up for one of these groups with Lisa and then your life is set, because you have to do the work to figure out what it is you want to manifest. And then you have to do the work to make it happen. And we don't like doing the work.
Well, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So
Right.
it's hard. We're all human and we're all a work in progress. And it's hard to keep yourself on your path and moving. And then the universe is moving too. And what if it throws something in your path? Like I'm going to throw Netta out there again, of when the doctor said, I think if you go see this other neurologist, they're doing this thing. Well, the other neurologist was like 2 hours for her. And remember, she could not drive. So it was a big deal, but she went for it because she knew she was working on manifesting personal freedom and this was worth a shot. So those are the kind of steps that you have to do beyond just hanging something on a board. I think there is a lot of energy if you are really into vision boards, as long as you remember to look at it every day and send some energy toward that. Imagine yourself in that boat. Where would you go? What would you see? What's it smell like on your boat? Is it going on the ocean or on a lake? And the more that you think about it, all of that energy is going out to the universe, and that's what is co-creating with you. So vision boards can be helpful, and maybe if you're a really great visualizer and you always do it every single day, maybe that vision board is enough for you. But typically for most people, it's not. And when you throw in things like, oh my gosh, my job just changed, or oh my gosh, my husband's job changed, or wow, our car just died, or there's lots of things that get thrown in, and all of a sudden something came up that you weren't expecting, and that's where having a coach in your corner can help you keep moving forward.
So what do you say to someone who is listening to all of this and thinks all of this sounds really good, but I'm a little overwhelmed and I don't know where to start?
The 4-day challenge is a great place to start, because then you know exactly what you want and how to get it so that it's big enough that it affects your entire life. You have to have it. And once you get to that point, then you're ready to really decide, how am I going to make this happen? And so that's a great place to start. Another way to start is join the community. There are so many people in this community who have, like Netta that I told you about, and Marie, they're both in the community, but there are plenty of people who are now really powerful manifestors who have changed their whole life, who will also stand right beside you in the community and cheer you on. So it's a really great space to get inspired, stay inspired. And when things get hard, keep your head up and keep that gratitude going. Get a blessings journal. So anyway, we have lots of tools and good people there to support you. So if you're not in a position for coaching, try the community, because oh my gosh, you need that support so that you can really quiet that negative self-talk, stop procrastinating. All of those things that hold us back from our dreams are basically fear. And the way to combat it is to have other people who are with you. So you're not alone. You don't have to be afraid. You're going to take that next step.
And I would just add or encourage you, if this sounds good to you, I would encourage you to go to Lisa's YouTube channel and check out some of these interviews that she has done with clients who have manifested amazing things, changed their life, that they're manifesting their best life. And and you know that they're regular people who happen to find their way to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not giving you, you know, huge power or something that Lisa, I think you're amazing, but it's not that you are.
I have no magic wand.
Yeah, this is not that sign up with Lisa and she'll make your life amazing. You'll hear these stories from the clients, the people who have done this, and you can hear how their lives have changed and what they did to sort of make that happen. And I think that's a great way to get started. You have some time until the 4-day challenge next week anyway, but I think it's a great motivator, and it's great to see that you aren't the only one who wants to change their life. Just about everybody who's listening to us wants to change their life. I heard this song when I was out walking earlier, but an REM song, Everybody Hurts, which is a sad song that you hear in a lot of movies. But there's an element of truth to that, in that we're all carrying pain. We're all dealing with big things that we're trying to handle the best we can. And while there is an element of misery loves company, the bigger truth, I think, is that it helps to it helps to know that you're not the only one who wants to change their life. You're not the only one who's in a position that you want to do that. And there is some comfort there, because sometimes we feel like the universe is against us. Everything has gone wrong. We have blown every good opportunity, and now it's just our lot in life to be here. And and that's a load. It's not true. And I think if you listen, you watch some of these videos and you go do this 4-day challenge, you'll be glad you did. So there. Anything else that you want to add? I know you need to get over to your Tarot Tuesday. Anything else that you want to add to this?
Uh, I can't think of anything. I feel like we talked about
Okay.
everything.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we hit the whole thing, because I think this is great, and I hope everybody who is listening at least looks into it. I think you'll be glad you did, no matter what it is you want to change about your life. So,
And
so
you
there.
really are worth $1 a day. Money
Yes.
is just energy. That's all it is. You've agreed that it's worth this much effort of work to get this piece of paper with pictures on it. So when you invest in yourself, you're telling the universe, I'm serious this time. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I'm worthy. All of these things. Every time that you invest in yourself, that's what you're telling the universe. So it is worthwhile to put some of that hard-earned money toward you. It's the safest investment in the world.
One last thing about money, and I am loath to talk about money, but if somebody is listening to this and they think I am worth $1 a day, but I'm concerned about commitment, how, you know, it's $1 a day forever? Am I paying monthly forever? How does that work?
You can do it monthly, so $30 a month. Even if there's 31 days, then it's less than $1 a day, but it's
Woohoo.
$30 a month. Or if you want to, you decide, okay, I'm going to stick with this for a year, then you get 2 months free. So then it's also less than $1 a day. So there you go.
So if I wanted to join and I paid my $30 for the first month, and I decide that either this isn't working for me or something big happens and I don't have $30 the next month, am I in trouble? Or is
No,
it just so it's just 1 month at a time?
yeah,
Okay.
you just go in and cancel if you're not going to stick around. That's fine.
Okay. Good. Well, thank you for, I know this was painful for you. I appreciate you doing it.
Well, I do like talking about manifesting, so I kind of went off there for a little bit, but
That's
thank you
okay.
for having
That's
me
okay.
on.
It was good stuff. Thank you so much. I'll put links down for all Lisa's stuff down in the show notes so you can go check it all out. And Tony will be back with me 2 weeks from tonight. Of course, if you're listening to this as a podcast later, that doesn't help you. And I don't have a calendar in front of me. So 2 weeks from May 21st, that should be June 4th, I think, 3rd or 4th, whatever the Tuesday is, at 8 o'clock Eastern. I'll have the member ID for Zoom posted a few days beforehand, and we'll keep looking into getting a phone number if you just want to call in for readings. I know Tony would love nothing more than for me not to ask her any questions and just come in and do readings. So maybe I'll give in and we'll do that next time. We'll see. But in the meantime, if you don't want to wait 2 weeks, you can go to psychictapestry.com, click on our readers and teachers, and you can get a reading with me or with Tony or with Lisa. And otherwise, we'll be back in 2 weeks. So in the meantime, stay safe, take care of yourself, and remember to tell those close to you that you love them. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.